Всем привет, с вами Владлайм. Четвертый Fallout, как вы уже смогли догадаться. Продолжаю с того места, откуда закончил. А закончил я с молекулярного уровня. Построил вот эту хренотень здоровенную на треноге. Будет она меня телепортировать в институт. Так что сейчас идем мы к старшине Максону и к нашему другу женщине в костюме без ног. Она поэтому в костюме. Но это вы уже знаете без меня. Поэтому
Dr.
сначала...
Lee is a valuable asset. If any harm comes to her, I'm holding you personally responsible.
Окей.
Sir. Refrain from opening fire inside the Institute. It could jeopardize our entire mission.
Погоди. А нахрен я тогда иду? Как не стрелять? Там же враги, по сути. Как я там в силовой броне пройду незамеченный-то? Или там
You
тоже
have your
в силовой броне
assignment,
все ходят?
soldier. Move out.
Да я в курсе, что ты меня торопишь-то? Ты чё вообще здесь стоишь? Иди он на тарантас свой. Так, Проктор and Гембл.
I've checked and rechecked everything. I think the signal interceptor's ready to go. Are you?
Да я тоже. Проктор and Ингрэм. Так. Так и
Shouldn't we
сделаем.
test it first?
Not with a single frequency code. The second you arrive and the Institute figures out which signal we hijacked, they'll change the code, and we're locked out. This is a one-shot deal. So what do you say? You ready to give it a try?
А что
I've
надо
got some
делать?
things to do first.
Yeah. I wouldn't be eager to jump onto this contraption either.
Dr. Lee is a valuable asset. If any harm comes to her, I'm holding you personally responsible.
Да что ты заладил, блядь?
Ingram?
I've checked and rechecked everything. I think the signal interceptor's ready to go.
Это мы уже слышали. Давай, погнали,
Let's do
короче.
All right. Head up onto the platform and we'll see if I can find a signal to lock onto.
Refrain from opening fire inside the Institute.
Задрал.
Are you
We
in
could
or are you
jeopardize our
out?
entire
Make up your
mission.
mind.
Так, стояночка, все, встал. Чуть не могу двигаться, значит, встал. Походу. Да? Точняк. Эй. Эй, чё стоим, кого ждем?
Let's see.
Oh.
Relays dialed in. Beam emitters warmed up. Everything looks green. Let me start scanning for the signal. Cross your fingers. I'm inputting the code now.
Давай,
Wow,
давай.
there's a heck of a lot of interference and ghosting. It's gonna take a minute or two to lock in. By the way,
Давай,
this
давай,
little
давай.
trip you're taking is a heck of an opportunity to find out as much as we can about the Institute and what they're up to. I put a clever little program on this holotape that'll scan their network and download anything it finds. If you place it in any terminal down there, it'll do the rest. Bring it back to me and I'll see if I can make sense of whatever it found. Well, well, looks like we have a winner. RF wave capture complete. Ramping the emitter. 60%, 80%. Emitter spiking but steady. All that's left is to throw the transmit switch. Transmitting in 3, 2, 1. Stay safe, soldier.
Ух, ты же ежик. Так, что это? Шо? Опа. Так. Где это я? Чё за капсула какая-то или что? Так. Ничего не понимаю. Где это я? А, это вот их место, где они, откуда они телепортируются, походу, да, все? Куда обратно возвращаются. Интересно. Так, что у меня здесь? Ой, не то нажал. Так. Ага, с предметами еще нормально. Так, с помощью тоже все отлично. Думаю, надо сохраниться и двигать. Так, стрелять нам нельзя. Стрелять нам нельзя. Что нам тут вообще можно делать? Что тут есть вообще? Угу. Ящик, изолента, вилка, ключ. Но пока это все нам не надо. Так, я не понял. А, ну карту. О, это здесь в центре. О, развалины института. Ага. Я под ними, значит, да? Так, а что это у нас тут? Ага, метка, да, там броня была, все вспомнил. Так. Что делать? Куда идти? Так, пришел я от седа, да? Точно. Нет. О, а ну-ка глянем. Проверки какие-то. Ерунда.
Hello.
Ты кто?
I wondered if you might make it here. You're quite resourceful. I'm known as Father. The Institute is under my guidance.
Папа.
I know why you're here. I'd like to discuss things with you face to face. Please, step into the elevator.
Учреждение, мать его, закрытого типа. Чистая кофейная кружка, ничего себе. Жируете? Потрепанный планшет, документации что, никакой нема? Нема нигде ничего? Ну, это же урна. Не, ну там документации точно не было. Так, ладно, идем в лифт. Нас просят у лифт. Сейчас еще тут в саранчу поиграю немножко. Опа. Папка. Ну, зачем мне папки? А лампочка там разбитая, что делает? Халат? Халат. Ну, не знаю. Так, на всякий случай возьмем. Нема доступа, вдруг пригодится, да? Так, зашел. О. Ты меня сам отправляешь? Еще глубже?
I can only imagine what you've heard, what you think of us. I'd like to show you that you may have the wrong impression.
Может быть. А может и нет.
Welcome to the Institute.
Ух ты.
This is the reality of the Institute. This place, these people, the work we do. For over 100 years, we've dedicated ourselves to humanity's survival. Decades of research, countless experiments and trials, a shared vision of how science can help shape the future. It has never been easy, and our actions are often misinterpreted by those above ground. Someday, perhaps, we can show them what we've accomplished. But for now, we must remain underground. There's too much at stake here to risk it all. As you've seen, things above are unstable. I'd like to talk to you about what we can do for everyone. But that can wait. You are here for a specific, very personal reason. You are here for your son.
Видишь какой? Все знает, блядь. Папаша-то, а? Так, а я не понял. Где дорога одна? А там тоже какой-то лифт. Нафиг эти мы качели? Что я не пойму. С одного лифта в другой, мать его. давай. О, и вверх обратно. Зачем? Вниз, вверх. Я же говорю, качели, блин, какие-то реально. Опа. Чё, мы сунули, что ли? Не понял. Аппликатор? Пинцет. Ну, ты же ёшкин кот, а? Аппликатор, гаечный ключ. Отоскоп. Кто шагает, блядь? Ли. Кто здесь ходит? Вы чё? Это камера у них тут, да? Обалдеть. Требуется ключ. Доступа нет. Требуется ключ. Нафиг я сюда пришел?
Useless.
О, я могу с ним говорить. Нифига себе.
Can't pick this.
Да, я знаю, что не
No
смогу.
way to pick this.
Американский флаг, ваза, ваза. Ну, давайте с сыном поболтаем. Так, а что там у него? Что какая-то интересно. Что его замуровали-то, сволочи, я не понял. Давай поболтаем.
Sean?
Huh? Yes, I'm Sean.
Sean? Is that really you?
Who are you?
Sean, it's me. I'm your dad.
Father, what's going on? What's happening?
Yes, it's me. Your dad. I'm here, Sean.
What's going on? Father? Father! I don't know you. Go away. Father! Father, help me! There's someone here, help me!
Что с ним?
Who is Father? Where is he?
Father? Father, help me! He's trying to take me! Father? Father, help me!
Мать твою. Ты, бородач.
Sean. S923, recall code Cirrus.
Ну,
Fascinating,
Допустим.
but disappointing. The child's responses were not at all what I anticipated. He's a prototype, you understand. We're only just now beginning to explore the effects of extreme emotional stimuli. Please try and keep an open mind. I recognize that you are emotional, and that your journey here has been fraught with challenges. Let's start anew. I am Father. Welcome to the Institute.
Father? That's your name? Your title?
Father is my unofficial title. It's what I've come to mean to the people of the Institute, just as you mean to your son, to Sean.
I'll make this very simple. Where is my son?
He's here, in the Institute. Closer than you think. But I need you to realize that this situation is far more complicated than you could have imagined. You have traveled very far, and suffered a great deal to find your son. Well, your tenacity and dedication have been... It's good to finally meet you, after all this time. It's me. I am Sean. I am your son.
Да ну нафиг, блядь. Хера себе.
How is that even possible?
I know this is a lot to take in. In the vault, you had no concept of the passage of time. You were released from your pod and went searching for the son you'd lost. But then you learned that your son was no longer an infant, but a 10-year-old boy. You believed that 10 years had passed. Is it really so hard to accept that it was not 10, But 60 years. That is the reality. And here I am. Raised by the Institute, and now its leader.
But why? Why take a child? Why take you?
Ah, now that's the question, isn't it? Why me? At that time, the year 2227, the Institute had made great strides in synth production. But it was never enough. Scientific curiosity and the goal of perfection drove them ever onward. What they wanted was the perfect machine. So they followed the best example thus far. The human being. Walking, talking, fully articulate, capable of anything.
Human synths? Really?
Human-like synths. A great distinction. The Institute endeavored to create synthetic organics. The most logical starting point, of course, was human DNA. Plenty of that was available, of course. But it had all become corrupted. In this wasteland, radiation affected everyone. Even in their attempts to shield themselves from the world above, members of the Institute had been exposed. Another source was necessary. But then the Institute found me, after discovering records from Vault 111. An infant, frozen in time, protected from the radiation-induced mutations that had crept into every other human cell in the Commonwealth. I was exactly what they needed. And so it was my DNA that became the basis of the synthetic organics used to create every human-like synth you see today. I am their father. Through science, we are family. The synths, me, and you.
And you've been down here the whole time?
I have. Yes. I know you must have questions. Please. Anything I can do to help you understand.
Your mother. She never got to see you grow up?
Yes. What happened to her was... I've gone over the records of the incident, of course. It seems her death was an unfortunate bit of collateral damage.
Collateral damage? Is that all she was to you?
I forget that it's been such a short time for you. I don't have any direct memories. And I've had my entire life to cope with the loss. Has it always been easy? Of course not. But I've done my best to move on and live my life. For many years, I never questioned who my parents were. I accepted my situation, and that was that. With old age comes regret. And asking what if more often. But what matters now is that you and I have a chance to begin again. What else can I say to ease your mind?
Kellogg, he worked for you?
Kellogg. He was an Institute asset long before I arrived here. It wasn't until I became director that I learned of all the things he'd done. What kind of man he was.
You knew the man was a psychopath, but you used him anyway?
Would you have preferred that I turned him loose on the Commonwealth? At least keeping him on a short leash kept the collateral damage to a minimum. The Institute took advantage of Kellogg's vicious nature. I will freely admit that. Institute technology prolonged his life, and his usefulness far beyond any normal human lifespan. He never failed the Institute, but his cruelty became more apparent with every completed objective. I won't lie. It's no coincidence your path crossed his. It seemed a fitting way to allow you, us, to have some amount of revenge. What else can I say to ease your mind?
So you're in charge of the Institute?
I am the acting director, yes. I spent decades working to reach this point. It's a responsibility I take very seriously. The Institute. It's important. It really is humanity's best hope for the future, no matter what those above ground might think of us.
But, Director? Why you?
I was the most qualified for the position, obviously. I've lived my life within these walls, dedicated to science like every other member of the Institute. My hard work has paid off. Ultimately, the Commonwealth has nothing to fear from us. Whatever you've seen or heard, I know I can convince you of that. Just give me time. I know there's more for us to discuss. But the Institute is on the verge of some important breakthroughs. Your presence would be appreciated as we approach them. I've been a part of something amazing here. I've helped to build a life for myself and the people of the Institute. And now, after all these years, you have an opportunity to help with that. Doesn't that intrigue you? Isn't that what you want?
Тяжелый
You
выбор.
want me to stay here? In the Institute?
Yes, that is what I propose. Is it so hard to imagine? The Institute can provide a better life than anything above ground. You've been in the Commonwealth. You've seen what it's like. I assure you that you are better off with us.
How can you say that? How can you be so dismissive of all those people? Everything they've done?
Because it is the simple truth. And I believe you know it too. I simply ask that you give the Institute, me, a chance. A chance to show you what I've been telling you. We really do have humanity's best interest at heart. Will you take that chance?
Are you sure you want this?
Yes, I am. It would benefit us both to work together.
Ну, давай попробуем.
All right.
Thank you. The Institute is now your home, as much as it is mine. Please take some time, get to know it. Meet the people you'll be working with. You'll want to introduce yourself to the division heads. Dr. Fillmore in Facilities, Dr. Ayo in SRB, Dr. Holdren in Bioscience, and finally Dr. Lee in Advanced Systems. They've all been notified of your arrival, of course. Meet them, and then we'll discuss what comes next.
Окей. Окей. Идем к руководителям. Да, конечно. Многое мы тут узнали, поговорив с Шоном, отцом, как выясняется. Конечно, это просто дикий взрыв мозга, мать его, блядь. Шону 60 лет. Мне, блин, лет 30-35, ему 60. Кто кому отец? Походу он мне, не я ему. Это у нас, значит, синт. Ну, человек синт там такой, знаете. Чё такой грустный? Не могу говорить.
Sean, about this synth.
You mean the child? It's a fascinating project, really. There are issues to be solved, of course, but we've made remarkable progress.
Это он грустный.
Why build it to look like you?
We'd advanced the technology behind synths to a point where this struck me as an interesting variation. A new angle, if you will. Modeling it after myself seemed only natural, what with the Institute's records on my genetics and physiology. I'll make sure it's brought back online in the near future. You'll have an opportunity to interact with him further. But I'll admit I'm curious. As a parent looking for a child, looking for the younger version of me, what do you think? Do you think you could love him? like you would a real boy.
Что-то, блядь, странно это все, не знаю, блядь. Может, этот отец врет? Может, не врет? Черт его знает, сын он мне или не сын. Вообще какой-то дед посторонний.
Are you following?
Да слушаю, я думаю, блин.
Seriously? You really believe a human could love a synth?
That's a difficult question. I suppose it depends on how closely we've managed to mimic human behavior and emotions. Yours is a unique position. You may be the only one that's truly able to answer these questions right now. I wouldn't claim to know everything you're feeling, but if in some small way the boy's presence can help, I hope you'll keep an open mind.
Ну да, ну да. Так, ладно. Отец или сын, хрен тебя поймешь, кто ты. Погнали мы, короче, болтать с чуваками. О, а это что за штука? Блюдо? Нет, блюдо нам не надо. Вино. А и вино тоже не хочу. Так, куда идти? Куда идти? Что тут? Да и что за бред у вас тут один лежит? Папки, планшеты, ножницы, карандаши, ну. Папка, папка, ручка, ручка, папка, камера. Опять папка, папка, карандаш, чистая кофейная кружка. Это все фигня. Че стоишь, кого ждешь?
Sean.
I often wonder what the Institute's founders would think of our accomplishments. Let your surroundings be a reminder of what science and willpower can accomplish. This truly is a wonderful place, isn't it?
Excuse me.
I couldn't be more proud of what we've achieved. Hello, Father. I hope your time in the Institute has been enjoyable. Our advances will, in time, change the world.
Понятненько, понятненько. Какие-то цифры непонятные. Потом будем с ними разбираться, может быть. Что-то, походу, у них тут поживиться нечем, блин. Глобусы всякие. Папки, карандаши. Ну и стимуляторы. Это все у меня этого в достатке, так сказать. Мне это ни к чему. Все. Так, а что? Спальное место, что ли? Что это такое? На солярий не похоже, хотя может эта штука двигается туда-сюда, может и солярий какой-то черт. Непонятно. О, вот это я возьму, пожалуй. Папка, 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 лампочка, стимулятор. Так, я что-то не понял, как вам туда вниз попасть? На лифте, что ли? Хотя я сейчас вот ключ взял, да? Блин, это я в ванну зашел. Еще ванна какая-то, мать ее, походу. А, вот сюда, да. Ключ от терминала я взял. А ты что здесь стоишь? А ну, брысь.
No use.
Нет, этого терминала, что ли? А, от какого? Где полазить, где? Сигареты. Кто курит, падла? Кто курит в таком заведении? А, о! Это значит здесь, да? Так. Увеличение продолжительности жизни. Как это так? Нервничать. Угу. Зависть? Ах ты ж падла, киборгом был. 100 с чем-то лет он жил, падла. Вот он, сволочь. Так, отсчет личной записи. Беглецов, жадный отдел. Что-то... Что здесь у нас? Ты смотри. Что по записям? Опа. Отключение синтов? Даже так можно. Так, а головорапись что? Блин, да мне головорапись какую-то. Голозапись, мать её, никакую. Вот тут их у меня много, какие брал, не помню. Ладно. Эй. Ну выхожу уже. Все, я отсюда выхожу. Идем, наверное, в лифт, да? А, нет, тут двери. О, ты кто такой?
It's an honor to have you here, sir.
А тебя туда же. Тебя туда же. Так, мне надо вниз. Стрелочка показывала вниз. Вон туда, да? О, здорово, отец. Опять ты. О,
Almost done. Just need to tighten up this primary drive servo.
That's the third primary drive breakdown this month. As far as I'm concerned, the phase out on these older models can't come soon enough.
Oh, I don't know. Most of them have lasted long past their projected lifespans. If you ask me, they were built pretty well.
I can't argue with that. Even so, I'm ready to see the full Gen 3 roll out.
There we go. All set. Unit, you can return to duty.
Thanks again.
Of course. We're all looking forward to working with you.
ходить не вредно. А ты куда пошла? Стой, падла.
We don't usually welcome outsiders. I hope you can appreciate your good fortune.
Кому еще повезло?
Doc,
They weren't kidding. You really are here. Well, all right. I'm Allie Fillmore. You can think of me as the Institute's chief engineer. When Father told us about you, I could hardly believe it. You've been through so much, I think most people would have just given up. If you don't mind my asking, what was it that kept you going all that time?
what makes you ask? I'm a complete stranger to you.
I suppose when I heard your story, well, I felt sorry for you. You've suffered more tragedy than any one person deserves. Your whole world is gone. I'm sorry. I know that was a very personal question. Now, I'll give you a quick rundown of the Facilities Division, and then I'll answer any questions you might have afterward. As you might guess, we keep the Institute's mechanical and electrical systems running smoothly. We maintain and upgrade all of the systems that make it possible to live and work in a place like this. There's a lot of machinery behind these walls that recycles the air and water and provides power to the laboratories and quarters. The work we do might not be as exciting as some of the other departments, but it's at least as important. So, now that you're here and you've spoken to Father, does that mean you're on board?
On board with what?
The Institute, of course. Sean implied you operated on a level, if not equal, then at least similar to the rest of us. Curious. If there's anything else you'd like to know about the Facilities Division, I'm happy to discuss it.
Who built this place originally? Has it been here long?
The construction of the Institute is the work of generations of scientists. The original survivors of the war, our progenitors, took refuge in the basement of the old Commonwealth Institute of Technology. Over time, their sons and daughters dug deeper into the earth and built increasingly sophisticated habitats and laboratories. It's a process that's still going on today. Even now, we're digging out tunnels for new facilities and infrastructure. Just think what this place will look like 100 years from now. I hope I'm there to see it.
И чё,
Алле.
Карла?
What's on your mind?
I'd like to know about the people in your division.
Of course. Dr. Lawrence Higgs is our mechanical engineer. He oversees the major life support and security systems. Power distribution is Dr. Evan Watson's area of expertise, and Dr. Newton Oberly is in charge of food and housing. He coordinates with bioscience to ensure that our meals are balanced for optimal nutrition. We also make use of a number of synth units for low-priority maintenance and labor.
Куда ты вечно убегаешь?
What's on your mind?
It must be a challenge to meet the power demands of a place like this.
Absolutely. We scratch and scrape for every precious ounce of voltage that we can. Over the years, we've learned a few tricks that help supplement our power budget. When necessary, we can tap into select sources on the surface. We take only what we need, of course. Fortunately, Advanced Systems is always working on new solutions to generate more energy. It's a good thing, too, because the demand is always increasing. You don't even want to know what a single use of the molecular dematerializer consumes.
Allie.
Что ты хочешь сюда?
Something I can help you with?
Всё?
I'm good for now. Thanks.
Goodbye, then.
Давай, давай. Так, тут такая спокойная обстановочка у них, конечно. И ничего так. Довольно-таки симпатично, я скажу. Неплохо, неплохо. Так, куда мне дальше?
Dr. Orman's lecture on cold fusion was nothing short of a revelation.
Да ты шо? Я за тебя рад. Так, нет, куда-то туда. Да?
When are you going to tell me about this mysterious Phase 3?
You know I can't talk about that.
You're here. Glad you made it.
Power armor? What would you need that for?
Ну, всякий случай. Хрен знает, что от вас ожидать, мать вашу. Нет, что у нас здесь?
No visible reaction to the K-14 compound. We'll start the next trial then. The dosage will be much larger this time, and the side effects will likely be more pronounced.
Will there be any pain?
I honestly don't know. I suppose it's your job to find out. Now hold still.
А ну-ка, ну-ка, что там у них?
There. All done. You can return to your duties. And remember to record every symptom you experience in detail.
I hope I'll prove a useful test subject for you, Doctor.
Scanning. Unknown identity. Clearance confirmed.
Ишь ты какой. Модный чувак. Так, что у нас? Кто здесь? Кто у нас тут прячется? Что за доктор? Или кто тут?
She's been at it for over 2 hours. What is she even testing?
Nothing. At this point, she's just doing it for fun.
Веселиться, блин. О, доктор Ли. Здрасте, доктор Ли. Оп, забрал. Моё.
Excuse me, Dr. Lee?
Oh, it's you. You're not authorized to be here.
Схерали.
Authorized to be where? What is this place?
You're standing in the Advanced Systems Division, and you are not a part of my staff. If you want a tour of the place, why don't you ask Father, seeing that he's apparently given you the keys to the castle. Now, can I get back to work?
Yeah.
Is this how you treat everyone? Or are you just putting on the charm for me?
I wasn't aware that I had to answer to you at all. You're obviously here for a reason, and you've already spoiled my experiment, so you might as well spit it out.
You're the scientist. Why do you think I'm here?
Well, let's see. A Brotherhood of Steel airship arrives in the Commonwealth. You find a way to intercept our teleport signal, and now you show up at my door. I knew it was just a matter of time before your people would track me down. I've been looking over my shoulder for almost a decade, waiting for them to send someone like you to kill me.
Why would we want you dead?
I did some pretty sensitive work for the Brotherhood of Steel. Even though Lyons let me go, there were a few others in the ranks that thought I knew too much. That's why I came to the Institute. It was the only place that I thought I'd be out of the Brotherhood's reach and still be able to do my research. Since Father trusts you, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. I might not agree with everything he says, but I know he'd never allow harm to come my way. Say what you came here to say, and then leave me alone.
Are you happy here?
You'd think being surrounded by cutting-edge laboratory equipment and some of the greatest minds the world's ever known would be enough. Only problem is the lack of transparency. I don't think we get the full story on everything that occurs down here. What does that have to do with why we're talking?
The Brotherhood needs your help, Doctor.
Needs my help. Why? They seemed to have everything under control when I left.
Did you abandon any projects you wanted to complete?
You should know better than to ask me that. If they didn't tell you what I was working on, they didn't want you to know. I'm certainly not going to put my neck on the line and spread their dirty little secrets. Tell me something. Why would I possibly want to come crawling back to the Brotherhood? What reason would I have to throw away everything I've accomplished here?
Father trusts me, and so should you.
He trusts you because you're family. I'm not. I can't just take your word for it. I need more than that.
The Brotherhood has always been straight with you.
I am getting a bit tired of all the secrets around here. Sometimes I feel like Father isn't being straight with me. Like there are things I'm not supposed to know about. I don't like that. But still, how can I turn my back on all of this?
I give up. What would it take to convince you?
All right, I'll play your game. I had a colleague down here, a Dr. Virgil. Several months ago, there was an accident in his lab, and he was killed. I wanted to help with the investigation, but Father had the laboratory sealed, saying that it was contaminated. The incident never sat right with me. The more I asked about it, the more I felt like Father was deflecting my questions. If you bring me solid information on what killed him, I'll take it as a favor from the Brotherhood and consider your offer. Do we have a deal?
I know this may come as a shock, but Dr. Virgil is still alive. I met him myself.
Oh, please. Do you really think a cheap tactic like that is going to work on someone like me? Stop trying to avoid the legwork by lying. Either you get me the evidence, or we have nothing else to talk about. Deal?
Are there any other options?
That's my offer. Take it or leave it.
Deal.
All right. Dr. Virgil's lab was in the Biosciences Division. I can give you a code that will get you into the section, but the lab itself has been sealed, so you'll have to breach it on your own. I'd tell you to be quiet about it, but your Brotherhood and discretion isn't exactly your strong suit. And finally, if you get caught, we never had this conversation. Now, for the sake of keeping up appearances, let me see that Pip-Boy of yours. I've been told to install a courser chip in it for you. Father's orders. You're to be given full access, with the ability to relay in and out of the Institute at will.
A courser chip? What's it do?
The same thing it does for our coursers. Creates a link to the relay that allows them, and now you, to get in and out at will. In case the significance is lost on you, you'll be the only one here with that kind of access. If nothing else, it should demonstrate the amount of trust Father has placed in you. Speaking of, I trust our discussion will remain between the two of us. Now, I need to get back to work, and I'm sure you have other things to do.
Неплохо. Эй, а ну стой, баба.
Dr. Lee.
I thought I was clear. Bring me the evidence, and I'll consider returning to the Brotherhood.
Ладно.
I don't like running errands.
And I don't like being asked to pull up stakes and invalidate the last decade of my life. I'd say it's more than a fair trade.
Ну да. Хотя он жив. Я тебе сказала, ты не веришь, падла. Не веришь. Почему не веришь? Так, ты кто такой? Эван, Уотсон. Опа. Кого стрелять? Тут же нема никто. Батареи. Ух ты, релейная граната. Ядерная батарея. Возьмем гранату релейную. Пробовать. Или не пробовать. Батареи. Блок мне дайте ядерный. Идите мне батареи ваши, блин. Так, где релейная? Где это ваша? А где релейная? Или чё? Как она тут называется? Патроны, она, наверное... А, граната, она, наверное, здесь. О, точно. Опа! Ух ты ж, ёжик. О, ты кто такой? Эй, чувак. И чё тебе? О, ты смотри, второй появился. Нифига себе. Неплохо, так, неплохо. Так, ходим с кулаками, все. Добро должно быть с кулаками. Блин, а сюда что, не могу зайти? Что такое? Эй, пустите. Ладно. Ладно. Ты кто
Excuse
такой?
me, doctor.
Since you're new here, you should take time to learn our safety procedures. And the sooner the better. Rules create order, and order promotes efficiency.
How many rules are we talking about here?
Not nearly enough, if you ask me. I had some handbooks made up, but that was years ago. I'll see about getting one to you.
Yeah, look, don't worry about it. I'll figure out the rules as I go.
Look, it's not just for your sake. If you're careless, other people could get hurt. Take care then.
Ну, окей. Так, чуваки, чего там лазите-то, а?
Greetings, sir.
Здорово, чувак. Смотри, какой он. Вот же жестянка тоже, а? Обалдеть. Классно. Так, ладно, едем дальше. Нам еще надо вроде с двумя докторами поговорить, или кто они там. И замутить у Вёрджила там движуху какую-то, да, в его кабинете бывшем.
You know the protocol, sir. Authorized personnel only.
So Dr. Ayo thinks he can hide in his office, does he? Well, you can tell him that I intend to speak to Father about these unannounced security sweeps of yours. Ransacking my quarters in the middle of the night is totally unacceptable.
I'll pass along your message, Doctor.
See that you do.
Hey, Doc.
Welcome. It is so good to meet you. I truly hope you'll come to think of the Institute as your home.
What do you do here?
Oh, I'm in charge of housing and provisions. It's my mission to ensure that everyone lives a comfortable and productive life. You should know that many of us consider it a great honor to have you here.
Окей, чувак, окей, я тебя понял.
Reporting status. All functions normal.
Да, я смотрю, все в порядке у тебя, чувак. Бюро рабоконтроля.
Seriously thinking of heading over to robotics to knock some heads together.
What now?
They're
Did I turn off the interferometer?
Upgrades I asked
Pardon
for.
me,
Maybe
sir.
I should take some courses with me. You know, send a message.
Please don't. There's enough friction as it is between us and pretty much all the other departments.
You going soft on me, Alana? My methods get results, and they will this time as well. You'll see.
Okay.
Like any machine, a synth can malfunction. Just wish it didn't happen so often.
If the robotics division was a little more careful, we wouldn't have synths trying to escape.
Doctor.
So, here you are. Justin Ayo, Acting Director of the Synth Retention Bureau. I'll be upfront with you. We're going to be keeping a close eye on you for the near future. Despite your relation to Father, you're a bit of an unknown quantity. I'm sure you understand. There won't be any issues, will there?
Ну, посмотрим.
Why? Don't you trust me?
Oh, it's nothing personal. I don't trust anyone. Now, Father has asked that I provide you with a brief overview of the Synth Retention Bureau. Our primary responsibility is the recovery of escaped synths that are hiding among the human population on the surface.
Why would synths want to escape?
Synths do not want. They might look like human beings, but they're machines. As to why they're escaping? That matter is currently under investigation. Our main instrument is the Courser, a third-generation synth assigned to operate on the surface. Coursers hunt down and reclaim synths that have escaped the Institute. They are highly self-sufficient, trained in combat, infiltration, and tracking. In a word, our Coursers are relentless. But I gather you know all this, since you've encountered one already. In fact, I'd very much like to know how you defeated it.
Why does it matter?
If there is some defect in Courser combat programming, then it must be identified and corrected. I suppose I'll have to ask robotics to perform detailed diagnostics on the entire production run. As if we don't have enough problems. Now, unless you need something else, I'll get back to work.
I'd like to know more about the synth reclamation process.
Fine. Once a Courser has located a rogue synth, it uses that synth's recall code to wipe its memories and render it inert. We then begin the delicate process of restoring the neural pathways to their original configuration. In those cases where the procedure is successful, the synth returns to duty with no memory of its time on the surface. All too often, we're unable to repair the damage and are forced to dispose of the unit entirely.
Ну ладно. С тобой тоже все понятно, идем дальше. Еще к одному.
Operating at full capacity.
Да, это мы уже слышали. Так, идем прямо мы идем. Водичка течет. Ничего, так симпатично. Вообще игруха классная, красивая. О, типа ночь,
Your
да?
presence here is a great gift, not just to Father, but to all of us.
Да, я такой. Биоинженерия, да? Окей, идем сюда. Неплохо тут так, блин, прикольно. Мне нравится. Так, погнали в отдел бионаук. Еще с доктором поговорить.
Have you had time to examine my latest reports on batch 274?
Not yet. I've been reviewing Father's plans to expand our operations at Warwick. He's eager to get that going, so I've had to put everything else to one side.
I wonder how the Warwick family is doing. Young Wally must be close to 10 years old by now. It's remarkable that any child can survive for so long up there, don't you think?
I try not to think too much about it. We have more than enough to occupy ourselves here. And those people are the last remnants of a dying past. It's best not to dwell on the subject.
They're still people, and they're suffering. We can at least admit that it's regrettable. After all, how can we hope to redefine mankind if we can't even hold on to our own humanity?
Well, that's a question best left to our colleagues in the robotics division.
Yes, well... I suppose you're right.
The latest synth generation is just amazing. Those guys in robotics are working miracles.
Hi, Doc.
Welcome. So good to have you here. Dr. Clayton Holdren, head of the Bioscience Division. I can't wait for you to see the work we're doing. It's truly amazing.
Like what?
I was just about to explain that. As the name implies, the Bioscience Division specializes in fields of studies such as botany, genetics, and medicine. Our most important directive is to ensure the health and well-being of everyone in the Institute. To that end, we cultivate highly specialized breeds of flora for use in food and medicine. We've even started to explore the idea of synthetic animal life. You probably saw the gorillas. They're really just a pet project at this point, but the potential is exciting nonetheless.
The gorillas are synths too?
They are indeed. Judging by your reaction, we've done a good job making them seem lifelike. The initiative is still in its early stages, but the prospects are very exciting. I'm sure I've taken up enough of your time as it is, but I have to ask, have you decided whether you'll join us?
Что, гориллы какие-то, блин, есть. Что за гориллы, блядь? Понять не могу. Ну, еще посмотрим. Так.
I'm an outsider. Would there even be a place for me here?
Even if science isn't your passion, there are plenty of ways to contribute. Our projects sometimes require an agent who can work on the surface to observe and gather information. From what I've heard, you are both fearless and resourceful. I think you'd be ideal for that kind of role. In any case, I imagine you'll want to continue looking around. Or, if you prefer, I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Tell me more about those synth gorillas.
On the whole, I'd say they were a success. Their behavior does generally match what our historical data says it should be. Unfortunately, we had a few early setbacks. The creatures can become suddenly aggressive, and they're quite strong. They destroyed 2 of their synth handlers. So now we keep them in an isolated habitat where they can be safely observed.
Ну ладно, ладно. Поговорили, гориллы. Где гориллы, блядь? Здесь гориллы? Нет, здесь микроскопы, там все, хренотень всякая. Где гориллы? О, вот горилла, нифига себе, бля.
Dr. Holdren's synth gorilla project is showing promising results.
Обалдеть, а?
You wouldn't happen to have a spare polarizer on you, would you?
Нет, отстань. Чувак, тебе не почесать там ничего, не? Посмотри на него. Офигеть, а. Гориллы, блядь, синты нахуй. Да. Нифига себе, блядь. Придумали нафиг, а? Так, я не понял. Мне нужна карта, инфо вообще. Вылазка. Блин. Так. О. Во. Вот это мне надо. Не-не-не. Так, куда нам идти? Это сюда, что ли? У него здесь где-то лаборатория была, что ли? О, да, где-то там. Так, а тут что? А тут еще что у нас? Непонятно, что тут. Ну ладно, нам надо сюда. Ага. Ёп твою.
Can't break the code.
Как не могу?
Hacking this is beyond me.
Да ладно. А, ну. Так. О. Отлично. Все, нема больше. Нет, туда свободных. Ну ладно. Так, а ну давай. О. Отлично. Будем пытаться. Нифига себе, какие большие. Ни одно сходство. Нуль сходств. А ну-ка это. 0 тоже. Что ж такое? Зараза. Ладно. Сейчас мы все равно отгадаем. Сейчас мы залезем сюда. 1, 0. А, красавец. Лучший просто. Отключить. Так. Что здесь? Не надо. Пока не надо. Идем в лабораторию доктора Верджила. Посмотрим, что там. Раздобудем доказательства. Ох ты ж ежик. Это он там, да, он же супермутантов. Горелка. Бунзена. Зачем она мне? Ты смотри на него. И в натуре как он. Ага. Так. А где та штука, которая ему нужна была? Стакан. Аппликатор. Он же просил какую-то сыворотку, помню. Где сыворотку-то найти? Инъектор. Сенсор. Пробирка. Тонкая мензурка. А сыворотка где? Ладно. Глянем, что у нас. О! Это хорошо. Так, давай. Не, все фигня. Так, я не понял. Сыворотка-то где? Где сыворотка от этих мутантов? Надо же... Опа. О, запись, 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 запись. А сыворотка где? О, еще одни записи. Не знаю, когда их читать будем. Это много времени. И так занимает. Целый час почти прошел, наверное, уже. На болтовню одну. Потратили. Ух ты ж, ежик. Что у нас тут? О, что же да. Движуха тут такая интересная. Так, здесь больше дверей никаких нема. Все здесь. Да? Так, там ничего нема. Надо каждый уголок здесь проверять. Терминал. Окей, что его искать? Вот он рядышком. Открывай. Ах ты ж твою мать, сука, ты чё, Тихо, тихо, тихо. Ой, чё, блядь? Ну, сейчас тебя с дробиной, сука, как жах, блядь. Давай, 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 давай. Стреляй, 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 родной. Блин, падла еще раз. Так, там ловушки. Блин. Ай, не перезарядился же. Да все, угомони таланты, блядь. Так, что? Блядь, еще один, а? Вашу дивизию, блядь. Сколько вас? Сволочи. Так, патрон. Остальное все. Пока не надо. Патрон. Хранитель, батарея. О, это син здесь висит, да? Это доктор. О, техническая документация. Для подземочки. Он там любит такие вещи, да? Завтраки, завтраки. Это все барахло у меня есть. Где его эти блин. Эликсир, мать его, или как он там. Так. Обезвредить. Дверь закрыть. Обалдеть. Так, а ну-ка. Что у нас здесь? Опять, блин. Попадать.
Nice.
Отлично. Замечательно. Вот зачем мне это все? Кто мне скажет, здесь я был? Скотина.
Perimeter movement detected. Possible stealth unit in the AO.
Что ты сказал,
Negative sensor read. Weapons cold.
Ша, медуза. Кубики, блядь. Так, где? Что ты делаешь? Штурматрон, блядь, мать. Кошатина. О, чебуреки будем делать. Круто. Мяч. Зачем мне мяч? Патрон. Еще патрон. Папка. Потрепанный планшет. Что за бред? Шахматная доска. Что это за камеры тут у них, блин? Для кого?
Nice.
Ух ты ж ёжик. За шо котятку? Котятку к нему за шо? Он же изверг. Сволочь, это они вот мутантов здесь, значит, держали, да? Что тут у тебя батарея? Кис-кис. Возьмем кис-кис. Бля. Наверное, кошатину мы... Бросим. Не будем мы чебуреки есть. Так. Тихо. Что ж ты ломаешься-то?
That's it.
Да. О, бейсболочка. Не нужна она мне черный халат. Батарея, институтский пистолет, форма охранника. Не надо. Батарея, черный халат, стимулятор. О, батарея, крышечка, ничего себе. Так, что у меня там с вещами-то? Ух ты ж, ёжик. Шо ж так много-то, а? Так, от чего-то надо нам избавиться. Ну, тут все походу мало весит, да? Вот. Одежда. Ушанка нужна, халат. Черный халат. Один убрать. Так, оружие. Тесак. Ну, все вроде надо. Вроде все надо. Помощь сейчас что-то у нас. Что у нас тут? Ядер кола. Давай бухнем, наверное, да? Бухнем. Чем зажрать бы нам еще? Мясо когтя смерти, хотя не. Надо хлам выкинуть. Вот часы золотые. Раз. Так. Железодутня. Так, ладно, пока пусть так будет. Ух ты ж, тут же много тоже вещей. Банки с краской.
Sensor alert. Anomaly detected.
Ух ты ж, твою мать, собака. Меня заметил? Так, что у нас тут? Иди сюда.
Engaging hostile.
Ух ты ж, твою мать, а. Тихо, чувак, не. Ты сейчас у меня встрянешь, блядь. Пистолет Келлога, патронов мало. Это вот тоже. А где лазерный? Это все мое, Где лазерный пистолет? Блин, зараза, ладно. Что ты сказал, Ох ты ж, твою дивизию, а ты смотри на меня. Блядь, ты ублюдок. Ну стой. Не можешь меня убить? Ладно, тогда мы сохранимся. Не получается, да? Давай.
Running close quarters subroutine. There's no way out of this.
Давай, падла, иди сюда. Иди сюда, гаденыш.
Stand down. Stand down.
Давай, давай, сейчас я тебе сделаю стейкдауна. Где ты, падла? И сюда. И сюда, железяка, блядь, а? Ты смотри на него. Так как так? Ух ты ж твою мать. Херячил его, херячил. Да. Мать твою, патроны заканчиваются на самом интересном месте, а? Ага, да, стреляй, блядь. На, падла, на, выкуси, блядь. Свинца, скотина жестяная, а? Ах ты ж сучара. Вычисляй, скотина. Все, вычислил, падаль. Фух, алюминий. Ну, это хорошо. Электросхема, это не надо. Электросхема штурматрона. Это все пойдет. Фу, мать его, блядь. Жесткий такой типочек попался-то, а? Так, опять надо... Так, подожди, где это самое? Вот. Бухлишка моя, где? А то... Это все не то. Без бухла не хочет он ходить, вещи брать. Дробовика, мина, короткий дробовик. Нет, спасибо. Так, я не понял. Где он сказал его эта штука, блин? Сахарные бомбы. Так, а ну помощь. Ух ты ж я. Давай колу жахнем, бля. Быстрее будет. Так, здесь у нас что? Нет. Тройной инструмент. Что за штука такая? У меня еще такой не было. Опять краска. Это все не то. Предохранители. Так, а это что? Опа. Давай модификацию возьмем. Какая-то движуха идет. Неужели опять? Мать его, блядь. Ух, сколько крышечек. И пивасик. Пусто. Краска тут, как всегда, какая-то фигня. 5 разводной ключ, модификация. Зачем они мне, правда, я не пойму, где его эликсир, или как он там, не знаю. Так, а ну давай откроем. Тихо. Эй. Опа.
Got it.
Эй, что, патроны закончились? Что, закончились реально? Ладно. Как, блин, надо эту штуку выкинуть. Все, иди вон. А ну иди сюда, короткий. Вашу мать, а. Прям над головой. А ты смотри, мимо все, да? Ладно. Опять мимо. Не понял я. Что за бред-то, а? Сдохни, блядь. И ты тоже. Три на них, блядь, а? Сенсор, стимулятор. Не, ребятки, не. Терминал, патрон. Так, я думаю, на этом месте мы пока остановимся, а дальше продолжим еще. Посмотрим, что там у нас дальше. Мы уже найдем эликсир для Вирджила, а потом пойдем к доктору Ли. Вот основная задача это ее вернуть к братству стали. Так что всем пис, с вами был Bloodline. До новых встреч, подписывайтесь, ставьте лайки. Пока.